Economy is welcome, but we need some perspective here. The economy is a bit stronger than many had feared, but it's still quite a lot weaker than we need it to be. Much of the improvement today is a function of the reopening of state economies and also the higher than expected iron ore prices in the budget. So despite some slightly better figures today, the defining features of this budget update are still record deficits, a record $1 trillion in debt, weaker wages growth, almost 1 million unemployed, another 90,000 Australians still expected to join the unemployment queues by March, and unacceptably high unemployment for some years yet. So the economy is recovering, but it isn't rebounding strongly enough or quickly enough for the 2.2 million Australians who still don't have a job or can't find the hours that they need to support their loved ones. Now, in the Treasurer's flurry of slogans and self-congratulation, he seems to have forgotten those Australians who still don't have enough work. So Scott Morrison's quiet Australians have become millions of invisible Australians. This government seems incapable of understanding what life is like for those 2.2 million Australians who are unemployed or underemployed in the economy today. So without a plan for unemployment and underemployment, today's mid-year budget update is yet another marketing exercise which doesn't do enough to ensure that people can get ahead in the recovery and that people aren't left behind. Instead of a proper jobs plan, we have a festival of waste and rorts and favours, and a government which is using this pandemic as an excuse to cut wages, cut super, and wind back important consumer protections. Now, you have to be pretty messed up ideologically to see the even weaker wages growth in this mid-year update and think that the solution is more pay cuts. But that's what this government is embarking on as we speak. Now, this is especially damaging when you consider that despite the welcome improvement in the budget and the economy, there's still a lot of uncertainty which Australians will have to deal with into 2021. Obviously, being able to limit the spread of the virus is crucial, as is the deployment of the vaccine. But also the withdrawal of important government support will be a big factor, as will be people's willingness to spend down some of the savings that they've accumulated over the course of this year. Clearly, there's a lot of uncertainty around China, and the broader global scene as well is very difficult and will remain so for some time. This mid-year budget update doesn't give Australians a sense of the costs and consequences of what we're seeing in the relationship with China in particular. Now, this recovery will only be worth the sacrifices that Australians have made over the course of the last year if more Australians can actually participate in that recovery. Our defining purpose here needs to make sure that as the recovery in the economy continues, that more and more Australians have a slice of the action, that more and more Australians can get back to work, that they can find the hours that they need to support their families and put food on the table. This is what a recovery should really be about. It's not about just numbers on the page. It's about millions of Australians who can't get ahead and who are at risk of being left behind if the government continues down this pathway that they're on of pay cuts and super cuts and the weakening of consumer protections. This is really crucially important that as we contemplate this recovery from the worst recession since the Great Depression, this can't be another missed opportunity to deal with issues which have been in the economy for so long, like insecure work and stagnant wages and weak business investment. All of these issues which were slowing the economy even before COVID-19. We will just go back to that if the government continues down their ideological path. The people of Australia deserve better. We need them to play a more meaningful role in the recovery of this economy.